Today's feature on the Summit Digital Marketing Podcast, Email Marketing with Roman Randall and Ross Hill. Today's question is, how do I grow my email list? Why is it important? What do I do when I have an email list? Can you help our audience members out?
Yes. Thank you, Ross. It's good to be here today. So let's start with, why is an email list important? I think when people think of email list, it's often in regards to like a mass blast. You know, everybody gets bombarded by Target, Walmart, you name it, with these like kind of nice HTML looking email templates. And that is email marketing. But when you think of an email list, think about it in two fashions. Think about your customers and then think about prospects. And if you're really, tech savvy and marketing savvy, you could even divvy those up even further. But really, like, an email list is just what it is. It's lists of customers that you have worked with or are working with. And then on the prospect side, it's people who have expressed interest in your product or service. So the reason it's important is because it's a way to communicate with both parties. With the prospect side, if you ever are in a jam in your business, you can go to that prospect list and reach out and say, hey, John Doe, you expressed interest in working with us, a few months ago. Just wanted to follow up and see if you have a need. Now we have, firsthand, when we have our list, we use HubSpot for our email marketing, and we have sent out emails months later and gotten sales appointments months after that person became a lead. And so now when I have that lead, I may have paid for that lead initially through a Facebook ad, or it may have been a referral. But now that they're on my list, I don't have to pay again to follow up with them. They're already there, so I can communicate with them. So that's why it's important. It's important because it's a way to communicate. It's a way to build your sales pipeline, and things like that. So what was the other question? How do I build my list?
Yeah. So give us some examples or maybe some tools that someone could use to actually grow their email list.
Well, I'll say a few things. So the first thing is, if somebody comes to your website and they contact you, whether it's by phone, by contact form, live chat, whatever, they should go on your list. So you want to be collecting, names, emails, and phone numbers, ideally, at least, if not more information from these leads. So there's several tools that you can use. Like I mentioned, we use HubSpot. It's a great tool. Other platforms that work well are ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Drip. You could even use a spreadsheet if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but I know people that do that. I'd say just pick one of those tools: HubSpot, MailChimp, or ActiveCampaign. Just go and pick one out. I would not recommend Constant Contact or Aweber. We have used those before. We have clients that use them, and they're just not as user-friendly as HubSpot, MailChimp, and ActiveCampaign. So make sure that anybody who contacts you and express interests, even if it's a phone call, make sure they're on your list. Another thing you could do is have some kind of offer. So a lot of people call these lead magnets. It could be really anything. It could be a free checklist. It could be a free video series. It could be something valuable, a coupon that you give them in exchange for their contact information. So that would be way number 2. And then way number 3 would be anybody who's a customer. They should be on your email list as well, but in a separate email list. You do want to separate them by customers and leads. So those would be some ways.
So you kind of answered this question a little bit, but I just want to give it a little bit more depth. So you have set up your website for people to subscribe to your email list, and maybe you've run, some sort of campaign to build it. Should people just be using an email list to just sell more things? Should they be using it to communicate? Should they be, what do you do when you have an email list?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the answer is going to depend on your business. So like for us in our email list, we don't send mass emails, but what we do is we go back to those lists and we communicate with them. And so if there's customers that need to be communicated with, we communicate with them. For us, more of our email marketing strategy is on the lead side of things, because we have monthly and sometimes weekly meetings with clients. We're in communication with them already. So again, the real two reasons you want to have an email list is for communication, to build a relationship, and then to build your sales pipeline. So for us, we're doing we're going to our list and emailing them, but it's more of a one-to-one basis. So that's one methodology, is just, I can't follow up with people unless I have a list of people to follow up with. And so we use it as kind of for that purpose, a one-to-one follow-up with leads. Other clients of ours, they will do weekly email promotions. They'll generate tens of thousands of dollars. So that's another way to do it, is if you are, an e-commerce shop, or if you have some kind of offering, let's say you're trying to get some free trials of your software product, you can email people who haven't gotten to that step yet and give them that promotion, ask them to do a free trial, give them, 3 weeks free, or I've even seen it where sometimes entertainment software subscriptions will give it like a $1 trial. So if you've got, 100 people who have expressed interest, but they haven't actually taken that next step, you can mass email them, encouraging them to take that next step. So you can do it on a one-to-one kind of individual basis, or in kind of a mass level, where you kind of give somebody, just some content to build the relationship. I think it's important to think about emails in two forms. There's content emails, and then there's sales emails. And content emails is just kind of to build engagement, to build the relationship. And then the sales side is when you're trying to, set up an appointment, get them to buy, things like that.
Awesome.